right, guys. Hey, we're back.
I never know whether you're addressing me or the audience when you say that.
All right, everyone.
Very inclusive.
Is that better?
So thank you for welcoming me. I want to formally welcome our viewers and listeners.
Family, and familiar faces.
Here's the deal. Every time we get together like this...
You're also welcome here.
Hey, I was trying to talk. You talked over me.
You want to welcome the AI bots when they take over. That they're
when we
be
get together...
Always.
We've been chastised for talking over top of each other, and I see what they're talking about.
I'm talking over you now. Can I do it? This is kind of stupid because we've been all morning together. We've had multiple meetings this morning.
That's what I was saying.
This is like
this whole week has been a whole bunch
We literally just took a trip to St. Louis together. At least we didn't stay in the same room.
It's called setting the scene. All right, we're setting the scene that like, oh, well, we just dropped in on the Chapmans. What are they up to?
This would be better if we were just like, we never get together and talk. So let's just take a moment every other week and talk about life and our favorite concepts or subjects. But basically, this is just a continuation of our meetings.
We're just recording it.
And it's just messed up.
You realize that yesterday, 3.5 hours in the car, most of which Jeremy sat on his phone in the back just thumbing through stuff.
Guys, they have pickup trucks. If you're in the back seat, you're not part of the conversation. You're...
Why are you always getting in the back seat?
Because he gets to be dry. He likes all of us to chauffeur him around. He's the CEO.
You just jump in the front seats as soon as the doors open.
Miss
it's like,
Daisy?
I'm bigger than you are.
You guys realize he is the CEO. He's got to act like the CEO.
A black car.
Driver.
Hello,
driver. Driver.
This is not.
This is
what was it?
I want to be like
what is it with the black cars where you set it like a expectation?
Yeah.
Don't want to talk type of thing.
I don't know. Is that what
there is?
Works?
Yeah, there. You have to click a button in the Uber thing that says, "I don't want to talk while I'm in the car." There is a thing.
Well,
I've heard this.
If I could do that with you guys, I would do it right away, like before we get in the car.
I think that's what Jeremy did. What was it? We did a trip here recently where Jeremy was also riding in the back, going to Chicago, and he puts it in his earbuds and just totally.
I was working.
It's all right.
Somebody had to do some business.
Anyway,
guys,
this is why people don't like you.
You guys are ganging up on your CEO. Guess who got fired? You guys.
You can't fire me.
Please fire me. I've had a
First
heck of
of all,
a week.
it would cause a problem in the family dynamics, and I'm part owner. Speaking of road trips, though, guys,
I want to be like I forget the name of the show, but on HBO, the one with their dynasty, they're trying to take over Secession. I want to be like the son in there where you get in the black car and just put on your heavy metal.
Yeah.
Hype myself up for the meetings.
I did that already.
That's what
I can tell you're hyped up right now.
This is me on edge. Speaking of road trips, though, guys.
Yeah.
I think we came up with a subject for this podcast.
Oh, I thought you were going to say we're leaving
it
for
was
IBMA
originally
next
John's
week.
stupid yellow socks, but now
these are look at this. These are minions.
Nobody cares.
They're classy.
I'm goofy. Look at me, guys. Woo. Anyway, mine are mismatched, so don't ask to look at mine. Speaking of road trips, we spent.
I got fish.
See? Look at
Like
Jeremy's
the band?
I have officially got over to Jeremy now. He's getting whimsical socks.
I've had these so many years.
Okay,
I
so
just
if we're
never
talking
wore
about
them.
socks,
Let's not.
we're going on this, Jim. Let's do this. I've had the same brand and style of socks for the last 15 years.
Good for you.
I just keep buying
Are they
more
out
and
of
more of
stock
them.
now?
No. I bought. See, I went through a period of like 5 years of just buying them, like because I knew I was
Easier
going to
than
do
washing
laundry.
them.
No, so I can go 6 months without washing socks, guys, and that's a good thing. But what happened is my son's foot got to be almost my size, and now he gets my socks without asking me, and now I never have socks.
They're going to be full of athlete's foot. And all
I
that.
decided to get socks that my kids
Please don't make this
want.
podcast about socks. All right, guys. What is this podcast about,
Speaking
Jason?
of road trips,
Yes.
should
Not
I do
a
it
lot
again?
of people. All right,
Don't
let's do this.
send us down a rabbit hole here, John. We spent 30 years, almost 30 years.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, it's been
For a lot of people that don't know us.
20-something years touring as a bluegrass band, the three of us and our dad, and sometimes a couple others.
Originally with our mom.
Mom sometimes.
Mom, you sound like
Our
mom.
mom. We had a sound man once in a while. We had a fiddle player
player.
for a good 4 or 5 years. And we had a lot of experiences on the road. And we thought it'd be fun to discuss our favorites and our least favorites, and maybe some in between. So I want to get your opinion on these. So we're going to give you 5 of our favorite and least favorite moments.
Join us down memory lane.
Let's go down memory lanes. You guys ready to start one off?
Do you want to start
ready,
with
Jay.
the good news
I
or the
did
bad
not
news?
prepare for this, so I'm just going to try to rack my brain for fun moments. I mean, I have some. There are some that are burned into my memory, good and bad. So let's start with the bad.
Okay, I'm ready.
My least favorite moment. I'm going to get real here, guys.
Please.
I had a mental breakdown on stage at about, what would I have been? Maybe 14 or 13, 12.
11, 10, 9.
I remember the moment.
I'm waiting to hear what this is.
12. I had to be 10 or 12.
Okay.
We were in the Odeum in Chicago. I was tired. I had a bad morning. I had a rip-roaring fight with one person that's sitting in this room who is not named Jeremy. And
Was that sarcastically not named Jeremy or?
no, it wasn't. You just punched. We didn't really fight. You just went ahead straight to punch, and I was like, oh, great. Now I have a black eye, and this is over.
Get it done with.
Jeremy's into violence.
It's not the emotional scarring.
It's
that I
going
got
here
from you.
anyway.
It's
Let's
the-
not drag it out.
All right. So one of my worst moments on stage is I knew I had to get on stage, and I literally had a mental breakdown on stage. I started crying, and I felt like just going somewhere else.
I don't remember
That was a bad
this at
moment.
all.
It wasn't even that big of a fight. It was just a big fight in the hotel. I got on stage. It's like, oh God, what am I doing? Why am I here?
I love that Jason,
I can't do this.
at the age of 11,
The pressures of the world.
Sean, this is 11 years of
winged.
dealing with you.
at the
11
age
years.
of 11, Jason
And-
goes, my life is about to come to an
It was
end.
more about just the emotion of it all and wanting to punch you but not punching you, being disappointed that I didn't. You know, those feelings you have, right? As
bad
a
thing
youngster.
is that none
but
of
I
us
wasn't
remember this,
prepared
so-
to handle those type of feelings, so it kind of all came out
Hey,
on
Jay,
stage. And it's quite the experience.
How do you
'cause I know
handle your
we've-
emotions these days?
Were you able
bottle
to?
them up.
Were you able to keep rhythm?
John,
How was your
I
timing?
put them right. I squeezed them right down inside that little ulcer. Just every motion is all held within this bleeding spot inside my body. A little bit's in this.
I just hope you didn't embarrass us in front of the audience.
Well, I don't think anybody noticed. It was just that moment of, you know how it is when
It
you're
was a
not
sad
emotionally
song.
you're not emotionally prepared to handle life, but you still have
At
to get
11.
on stage. Plus, there's nobody
show
in the
must
audience.
go on, Jason.
You
The
remember
show must-
those festivals we played?
You're kicking us off on a good.
I said worst moment, so God, I'm going to go all the way.
think-
By God.
I think there's a lot of really good, obvious moments that we could choose from.
Are we going with, that was my top, that was in my top 3. I'm not going to say number 1, but that was my top 3 worst moments. Jeremy, you give me one.
Now you got me going down the memory and trying to remember. I thought we were going to be a little more light than that, but
Yeah, I like Jason.
Hey,
was
we're gonna
so
go for it.
dark.
I
He's
said
like,
worst moment,
We're going to
and I
start
meant
this
it.
thing.
We
And
had-
right now, there are psychologists right now with a pen and paper going. I need to give this boy
I
a
worked it
call.
out. Don't worry about it. It's all fine.
You're on a watch list.
he's got
You know what I did
AI
to handle
therapist.
my emotional problems with my brothers? I started a business with them.
a second business.
Now I can't cry anymore. I just
He's in his editing bay just crying. We're like, Jason, what are you doing in there? Oh, nothing.
It's Stockholm
My eyes are
syndrome for
dry.
Jason. He knows to the point that his captors are his favorite people.
yeah. I don't feel good unless I feel bad.
Can we move on to the next least or most favorite moment? I was going to say we did a lot of miles on the road, a lot of driving, and that obviously means breakdowns. We had a number of those that would happen. One of them
Those
that
were
I
fun.
remember was we had played Chillicothe,
Is
Missouri.
it a good one or a bad one?
The bad one. Bad. It was interesting. We were in Chillicothe, Missouri. Broke down. We left there late at night, so it was like overnight drive, and we were in somewhere backwoods of Missouri, really hilly area. Dad's driving in the van with a trailer, and all of a sudden we're going up a hill, and they're like, "Oh man, I didn't look. We're out of gas." And so we run
I
out of
remember in
gas.
the morning.
Maybe this is
Yeah.
a different moment, but I remember this different. I remember this with Mom driving.
No, I think it was Dad. Anyway, me and Dad decide we're going to go walk to find gas. We walk all the way to this town. All the gas stations are closed down because it's past midnight and they just shut down all the gas stations.
And it's a town that has
Missouri.
25 people in it.
Yeah. And then a semi drives by and sees us and he says, I only got room for one of you so I could take the boy. And me and Dad didn't think that was a good idea. So we didn't take him up on the offer, thankfully. Thanks, Dad.
It's like Pee Wee Herman's adventure. Large Marge pulls over. I only got room for the boy.
It was a little scary what he was playing in. So we're walking. We probably walked 3 miles. Finally, a state trooper picks us up, drives us to the next town. We get gas, come back, fill. But we'd been gone probably
Tell
2.5
him to look
hours.
out for a semi truck.
And this was before cell phones, so we couldn't call. I think Mom had a bag phone, but we couldn't call it because we didn't have a cell phone. So
Yeah.
that was a pretty rough night.
Yeah, that's quite an experience. You know how many? Well, it's what's the guy's name? Oh God, what is his name now? They got a show about it. The serial killer that was the truck driver.
Yeah.
You sure it wasn't him? What did he look like? Let me look him up.
He was wearing clown makeup. And, no, that was
Was this?
point at the part of the
awful.
doll where he
Meanwhile,
tried to
I'm
pick
sitting
you up.
in the van with this thing like with a trailer behind it going, and me and Mom, I remember this very well. Here
coming
comes the
right
sirens right now. I remember this very well. We were like, "Don't turn on the four ways. We don't know who's gonna stop." So I'm there with Mom and Jason,
Trust.
and we're just playing.
I mean, that was one that stood out. We did have a lot where we'd be going down the highway, and one thing we had a Sprinter van, and it was notorious for that turbo boost, like
Oh, those were always fun.
resonator
Yeah.
would
That
blow
and
out,
brakes.
and all of a sudden it would drop you down to a governed 40 miles an hour
Yeah,
on a
well,
75
it
mile
would
hour.
lose turbo vacuum boost seal whatever. So the turbo it says is blown up and you're not getting motor. So it drop you into limp mode, which gets you 15 miles per hour. And that and brakes always going on that. I don't know how many brakes I changed.
And one serpentine belt we had to change on the side of the road while semis flying by. So a
Those
lot
are
of that
fun.
stuff.
Good memories.
Breakdowns are always a good time, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
There were many times, and I'm not, this is probably not going to be my story, but many a times of gas running out. I think those.
The other good one was going on to Canada.
What
when we
was
were
our
driving up
problem with not getting gas
Man.
and
there.
stopping?
I still have that problem. I just did that a couple of days ago. I was driving back from St. Louis and I got to the edge of town, and I'm 30 miles from home, and my truck says 32, and I'm like, all right.
Challenge accepted.
accepted.
Challenge accepted.
I know the gas station I want to go to.
I started to panic coming back from Colorado on our vacation because I was going through Kansas, and it took me through a really back part of Kansas and not on the major highway.
Oh, God, I do it
and
all
all
the time.
those towns shut down. Like there's gas. I don't get that. Like if it's a credit card accepting gas pump, why can't it still run at night? Like I don't know. Do you
They're
need
afraid of supervision.
somebody?
It's got to be a liability issue, I would assume.
I just know I'm bad at it.
I have to say, I have taught my daughter, who's driving now, there's an official rule. I don't care if your car says you have 38 miles or 50 miles left. If you are making a long trip and it gets past a quarter a tank, it is now a time for you to fill up your gas. That's when you start looking for a gas station to fill
Call
up.
it
That's
a
the
flaw,
rule.
but I'm not. I'm not.
I know. You did it to me last night on the way home.
We're
I
making
said,
such good time, and I just passed all those
Yeah,
slow
I don't
people.
want to stop. I do it every year when we go to Winfield. Every year I
He
run out of
did.
gas.
He recently ran out of gas.
I will not stop at a quarter tank. I am sorry. I don't care. If they're not willing to build a gas station that gets
Within
me
a quarter tank's
of
distance.
my truck while hauling a trailer.
So anyway, me not getting kidnapped and who knows what by a
Is that a
semi
good
truck
story
driver.
or a bad story?
It's both. I did not die.
I'm going to go with one of my, since we're such positive here, I'm going to go with one of my worst stories that I remember. And this was the time we were hired for
You almost died.
Did I almost die? No. That was probably good too. But I got to remember which story it was that I almost died on, because that was probably a good one too. The story where we were hired at a firehouse for a dinner, barbecue dinner. And this was in the mid-'90s. Very good time for Garth Brooks. Everybody had to be a Garth Brooks at that period of time.
Everybody had the Western shirts.
Yep.
The Garth
And
Brooks
we got hired for
Wrangler.
a fireman's benefit, which I thought was awesome. I thought that was a really cool thing. We were there, and we warned them. It was a dance and, fireman's benefit and food and the whole deal.
Cook.
And we got up and played, and we were doing well. Audience seemed to be enjoying it a whole lot. But the lady who put it on really wanted to see people dancing. And we told her, we said, this is a bluegrass band. Yes, people dance, but that's not
We're
their
not a
main
dance band.
thing. We're not a dance band. We're a bluegrass band that,
No drums.
yeah, no drums, no anything. Well, we did a 45-minute set. Thought everything was going well until the lady came up to Dad and she said, guys, people are not dancing. So I have talked, we've got a local kid here that he's doing well. He's a country singer, and we're going to have him play. And the problem is he's only got a few of his band members here, and he doesn't have a sound system. He doesn't have anything. So we need him to get up on your sound system, and he doesn't have a bass player, so can any of you guys play bass for him? Meanwhile, this kid shows up. He's got this really nice $25 headset microphone, because that's what Garth had at the time, really, except his was a lot nicer. Big old hat and the blue and purple Western wear shirt with the tight jeans. And he stood out in the middle of that audience, and he was just singing to everybody in there. And I had to play bass on that show for 2 solid hours.
And the rest of us had to sit around going, I wonder if we're still getting paid.
That was one of my
It's a bad
worst
moment.
shows.
We're not
I
what
hated
you were
that one.
expecting.
So we did not live
That's
up
a
to
good one.
expectations on that one, Jay.
All right.
Positive times now.
Is it good? Should we go to good
I
before we
think you
get?
should before you go even
I
darker.
think it's fun to go even darker down that road. What was a good moment? I'm trying to think here, Jeremy.
Do we go with the obvious ones? Obviously, playing on the Grand Ole Opry's huge and memorable moment.
I gotta
finally
say
getting
that was a double awesome moment for her. The first time we played the Opry, for me, was the weekend after I got married.
Yeah.
I have to say this is an incredible
the end, right?
deal. Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
It was I got married the week before. Flew out, did honeymoon thing, and then flew into a show in Michigan, and then we drove straight down there and played the Opry the very next day. My wife was with me on that. I thought that was an incredible deal. We, though, not only that, but we hung out with all the greats back then. That night was the first time Ray Price had been back at the Opry in I don't know how many years. We were in little
The
Jimmy
Osmond brothers
Dickens'
are there.
dressing room, and Jimmy came by and was super kind to both all of us and my wife. The Osborne brothers were there that night. There were so many great people, and playing the Opry, it was a weird deal for me because I
I have
remember
zero memories of it.
a wedding band. It was the first time I played guitar with a wedding band on it, and I kept hearing the
always weird.
clicking sound of it going up and down the neck. But
it was
an awesome experience
it was
to
a full
stand in the
night.
center stage of the Grand Ole Opry, which is the same floor, the same flooring from the Ryman. So every star from Hank Williams on up.
I'm a bass player. I didn't stand in the
I got to stand in
I
circle.
kicked out one of the lights and flipped off the audience.
Did you really?
Yeah,
way to
Johnny
go,
Cash.
Johnny.
That was an
That was a
incredible
good moment.
And
That's a good one.
crowd went nuts, had a standing ovation. It was just an incredible experience.
That one I almost cried, Jason, but for a different reason than you.
I honestly don't have many memories of playing. I remember setting up. I remember doing sound check. I remember going out, but beyond that, I was like,
He was in the zone
I just,
or zoned out.
it was
one of
so
the two.
fast.
So
That's the
were
only
you trying to
problem
think
with
of another?
Well, I thought it would go back since we'll do it in like snake form. John did his favorite.
Doubled it.
Okay,
That's
Jerry,
your
you
turn.
got
He
it. It's
took
on
mine.
you
I said
now.
that's an obvious one. Why even bring that one up?
but I stole it.
he expounded upon
Well,
it.
I'll go. Okay,
no.
I'll go out of order if you want me to. If you're not ready,
I was going to say our first. Well,
you're not
two things that led to this. We won the international band championship for SPBGMA, so that was a really huge thing.
1998.
We entered that the year before and
Now
got
who's
so
stealing
nervous.
answers?
Talk about having a nervous breakdown. Getting in that contest, they had this in Nashville at SPBGMA, and especially back in the day. Alison Krauss had won it one year. It was like a really big thing to do. It was the international band championship.
SPBGMA, SPBGMA, the Society for Preservation of Bluegrass Music in America. Weird acronym, but I wanted to spell it out so everybody know what you were saying.
I always thought it
SPBGMA.
was Society for
The prevention.
Barf.
You're such a child. Anyway, so we entered that contest. We did all right the first year, but man, we were so nervous we messed up. And it's like you're in the Olympics where they're looking for you got 2 tables with 10 judges in front of you, and they're marking down every time you make a mistake. It's like, oh, I heard that one. Oh, I heard that one.
That was the interesting thing about that contest. I don't think it was. I think we were projecting some of that, but also it was kind of interesting to see that I think the judges that they were choosing at the time were kind of like,
They kind of cross
we're
their
going to
arms
make this really,
Really
more important than it
uncomfortable.
really is.
So anyway, we did that. The next year, won it. And we only won it by 1 point, I think it was, which was huge.
Which was even more stressful for me, by the way.
Put a clip of
My
that video
first
in
year
here.
fully playing with the band.
It's true.
Like,
Jason was the first year.
I hadn't
and
really
probably
played
only
bass
done
for
it
very
3
long.
months.
Guys, this
Yeah.
wasn't really my moment, though. That was what led to the moment we got chosen to represent the
I'll talk
U.S.
about the
to fly
context.
over to Europe. And so this is a double one. Like, winning that contest was huge. We got so excited.
You do
All right,
realize
I'm
you have to
just gonna
have
stop
5
there.
total, right?
Yeah, okay. I'll get back to the second half of this. That night, we also, in the audience, was one of the agents or reps
executives.
for Pine Castle Records, saw us, signed us that night, or started the conversation. I guess we didn't actually sign that night, but that led to us recording with Pine
I
Castle
wonder where
Records.
Will is at, by the way. Anybody, if you're out there, can you call us back and tell us where you're at?
We were the
He's
first
talking
artist
about
that he
old
had
times.
signed. But
Yeah.
so that was really awesome
A lot of
weekend,
things
awesome
happened
night.
on that weekend.
Yeah.
I was going to say that the contest was a big, exciting. That's one of the
It
earliest,
changed everything.
best moments.
Really, right? I mean, if we really come down to it, that contest, like Jeremy said, it was a very weird deal. We were actually in like 5th place after the first round. We worked our way to 3rd place, I think it was. And then for the last round, maybe it was 2nd place, for the very last round, we came out and won it by 1 point, the closest victory that had ever happened in the history of that.
And we beat the band that Cody Kilby was in.
Ah,
so
take
that means we're better
Cody.
than Cody, right?
It was great.
It was.
That was good.
And
That's a good moment.
It did change a whole lot of things for us. Like you said, record label after that, played a lot more shows. And that's how we got to go to the Opry.
We got these nice little rings.
Yeah,
have
I have no idea where mine is.
Mine's sitting at the store. It's on
I know.
display.
I don't know where mine is.
All right, Jason, what you got?
Somebody might have took it. I think one of my earlier fame. No, not earlier. It's later in our career, but playing in New Brunswick, Canada, that would be a fun early moment. Favorite
Explain to the
moment.
folks why that
There
was so
is-
fun and exciting
so-
and favorable.
Unbeknownst to the rest of the world, the people in the northeastern part of Canada, the Maritimes as they call them, are huge bluegrass and country fans.
Yes.
I mean, huge.
Young people.
Well, yeah, young people, everybody,
entire town
the entire community up there is obsessed with going to concerts, country, bluegrass. Everybody's a celebrity to them, and we didn't realize this. So we go up there. We're gonna do a festival in Nova Scotia, right? A fun little festival, and we're hanging out, and all of a sudden, people are just like, we decide we're gonna hang out, drink a couple beers, 1 or 2, not too many, and we were jamming with a bunch of the bands up there, and all of a sudden fans just start coming out, and they're crowding around our jam session, and then they're like requesting our songs, and then they're like, hey, you want to come hang out with us? We'd love to put you up and hang out with you. We're huge fans. And it become like this really weird, like, I've got 5 beers in my hand from 10 different fans, and it's getting awkward.
Which he drank all.
Well,
No.
it would be rude not
Yeah.
to, right?
I only drank until I couldn't play straight. Anyway,
and cried.
I've never drank a beer in my life, guys. But anyway, so that was the start of it. And then all of a sudden we get a call there's a venue in St. Louis de Kent, Canada, in New Brunswick. There's this venue. He's got this like country park, outdoor venue. So we played it the first year, and it's like, holy
Before we played it the
smokes.
first year, we got booked there, and we had met some fans and friends that lived there, and they said, "You guys don't know how famous you are in this town." We're like, yeah, there's probably a few people like us. It's like, no, when you come to town, we're gonna have to hide which vehicle you're in because people will be trying to
was
follow you
odd.
guys. And we're like, yeah, you guys are funny, but
And we come up early because they were big fans and actually were part of our fan club at the time and all that. So we actually stayed with them for a few days before the festival or the concert at that time. So we're hanging out with them. And then we did start experience like, well, let's go to town. They're like, well, and then one of their brothers owned a bar. So we're like, oh, let's go hang out there. There's playing music there tonight. And then that became a mob scene. And we're like, this is awkward. And then we played the
this
first
is
show.
what it's like to be a Beatle.
Yeah, exactly. And then the first show we did, we went there and played that night, did a concert. It was packed. Like, I don't remember how many
It's the
people
first
were
time
there.
that every song we played, the
Yeah,
audience sang
that's what I was
louder
gonna
than
say.
we did.
They're all just singing every lyric to every song, literally throwing their bras on stage. One woman,
Men
threw a
and
bra
women.
on stage. Isn't that amazing for a bluegrass band? So we did that for a few years, and every year it was great.
Jason still
Yours are
has
bigger than the
that
last.
rock.
It's okay.
Remember, you
don't.
got to keep that as a memento.
I didn't keep it. It was awkward. But anyway, that was a cool moment in our career because every year
It became something we looked forward to every time we went up. It was just the people, the fans, but also our really good friends that we would stay with up there. Ralph and Carol, if you're listening, and all that bunch. Marcel.
They've moved on.
Yeah, they listen, right? First year we went up there, this is also where they get lots of lobsters, and they would get them right off the shore for like $3 a pound. Yes. So I ate like 1,000 lobsters, I think.
1,000?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I even ate the shells. They were delicious.
Did you kill him with a Triton?
Yeah. I ate a squirrel. All right, go ahead. I was giving you time to think there, but the lobster was delicious.
Trying to think, one of the worst moments I think that I can remember is we were playing a festival in Michigan. It was a new festival. They went all out, hired all the best in bluegrass and us, unfortunately at the time. It was going to be this big thing. Well, actually, here's a better one. This is more along those lines.
These people are waiting for the end of that story now.
Well, all right, the story of that one is we all played it. Everybody played that festival. And nobody got paid. It rained. Nobody got paid. But that was a bad one. But even worse, I was thinking about this one. This is even a bigger deal. So we get hired for the Walt Disney 100th anniversary, which is just north of here. Where he's from Sedalia or
no,
somewhere
not
up
Sedalia,
there,
but
north,
Missouri,
somewhere up there. So
his
he's
hometown
from
of
here, hometown
Walt Disney.
Hometown. They're doing this huge 100th anniversary of his birthday celebration. They hire like the biggest country stars. They were doing like entire citywide thing, expecting like close to 100,000 people.
Were going to come from around the world.
Yeah, expecting
Build
somewhere
it
in the 100,000 people range. Right? They've got all these shuttles set up, parking places. They hired what was the big country family at the time? What was their names? They're two brothers and a sister and dad. Anyway, they were playing right before us. And they hired us as a bluegrass band. We went in there. And when we got to the festival, I think there had been some bad weather, but not a whole lot. But it just did not pan out the way they thought it would. Expecting 100,000 people and getting 1,000 is really jarring.
Not only expecting, but they had prepared for it. Like they had entire fields like plowed.
Marceline.
Entire fields were like cleared for parking, and they had these attendants waiting.
City just
and nobody
shut
was there.
down, ready to go. Stages everywhere.
On
It's
top
like
of that,
the
the
fire
weather,
festival, Jay. It's like the
weather
fire
was
festival.
awful. On top of that, if you remember right,
I don't remember the weather.
It's
I
just
guess it was
drizzly.
cold and drizzly the
Okay,
whole
well,
time.
but it just did not pan out.
No.
We did actually get paid for that one, which is good. Good on them.
The town went bankrupt.
But that was quite a down moment.
They were
to be
working
like,
with Walt Disney money right there, guys. you got to get paid for that.
That's
Come
where
on.
you learned Walt Disney was not just a visionary, but he was a good promoter. You guys take
you
some of that.
forgot one component. Tell people to come.
Anyway, that was pretty rough.
That was rough.
And you feel bad because you know how much work went into
it's
preparing
terrible.
the festival, and
It's
you're like,
not just about us.
we'll play for these 10 people out here, but it's not our fault. It's yours.
Do you just want us to go home?
Would it be easier if we not perform?
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I was. So we're
a big
back to
one.
bad stories, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember, and I think we've mentioned this one before. We were recording with Darren Vincent. I know we did. We talked to Darren when we were doing his podcast. We were over at his house. We weren't actually recording at the time. Andy Leftwich was doing his fiddle tracks,
We were overdubbing
and
some stuff.
Casey Freeland was our booking agent at the time, or management, I guess, kind of both. And we're all in there because we want to hear his tracks and kind of listen to what he's doing.
We were in between shows at the time. We didn't had any. We had that time booked off.
Yeah, we're like, well, next show's not till next weekend. We'll just go down and record.
Well, what it was like a Thursday, right? And we knew we were supposed to be playing.
No, we thought it was the next weekend.
Okay.
So we were
thought we-
prepared for the festival, but we just wrote it down on the calendar as the wrong week. So Casey calls us and goes, "Hey guys, how close are you to the festival?" And like, what are you talking about? It's like, well, your set. You guys missed your first set. Like, what do you mean? And we said, we're in Nashville. It's like, no, you're supposed to be in Wisconsin. And like, no, you're wrong. That's next weekend. Turned out she wasn't wrong. So I pulled out a laptop and had to get on Priceline, book not an inexpensive flight for all of us to get up there. We did miss our afternoon set, but we did make it in time for the night set. They had to keep pushing us back a bit.
We rented a car.
Yeah, it was.
Zoomed out of Green Bay. We hit the button. We were in the studio and said, "Sounds great, Andy. Goodbye." And then we just ran.
Oh, we told Darren, and you know what he did? You guys. So that was a panic moment for me. It was like, oh my gosh, that's the first festival we've done this on. Well, I guess we had a pretty good track record. We did hundreds of festivals, and that's the first one we got the wrong week. No, that's the first one that we got the wrong weekend late. We did go, side story, we did go to...
I was going to say, yes.
No, we went to Bean Blossom a week early.
Yeah, there's 2 times, John. 2 times we got it.
We showed up at Bean Blossom.
This is what happens when we like dad book.
And we're like, man, there's not many people here at the festival.
We played that one off good, though.
We didn't tell anybody.
We're like, hey, we're just driving through. We thought we'd check out the festival.
Yeah, we had some extra time. We thought we'd see how the festival's coming. We'll see you guys next week.
Am I right?
But that's okay.
This does look like a nice place to have a festival after all.
I just wanted to leave off some stuff.
We didn't miss our show.
No.
We just were so excited.
We did that in Louisiana also.
We
showed up a week early and nobody was there. And we're like, hey, guys, isn't there a festival? No. See you next week.
All right, John, that was my bad one. My bad.
My bad.
I've been racking my brain trying to figure out which one where I almost died because I have Jason.
You fainted
the
on
story.
stage in Kansas.
Right?
So we're in Kansas.
Oh, that one. I got another almost died story. So this is a good one
this
too.
This is a good
Where
one.
he fell off the stage?
I'll say this one. We're all losing count. I'm at number 4 right now, and I want them all to be bad. I don't know what's wrong with me. So we're playing in the hot sun, uncovered, middle of Kansas.
It's
in the
100
summer.
and some odd degrees.
100 some degrees, direct sunlight. John's rearing back to sing one of his high-pitched vocals, which he's really famous for.
High-pitched vocals.
And rather than the sound coming out, he goes down. And literally,
His
you can
eyes
watch
just roll
him. He
back in
goes.
his head and knees buckle.
Somebody in the back of the audience kind of catches him before he falls and breaks his guitar, but he goes straight down. Everybody starts screaming and running to the stage.
Can I get some
Slapping him.
background on
Fanning
this
him.
a little bit? So I still have this bad habit. I'm not a water drinker. I have a theory that, I don't buy water. I don't mind drinking water. I don't mind tap water.
That's bad.
I have a problem with buying water. My problem with it is if you're going to charge me $1.50 for a bottle of water, you better put some ingredients in it. That's where
H
like
and
a
two
soda
O's.
or any of that kind of stuff comes from. So I'm not drinking very much water. I still have this bad habit. And I remember standing up there singing, and I'm like, Dad, I don't feel good. And still
must
just
go on.
singing. And my dad's like,
Get over it.
Just get over it. And so I'm just continuing to sing, and we're doing the shows. And I do remember kind of going, and it's just like in the movies. It's exactly like the movies where everything just kind of darkens and it just
your
fades
vision goes
out.
to a
And
center.
even the audio kind of fades out. But as the audio's fading out, I can hear my mom screaming, he's going down. And the next thing I know, people are all around me, and I'm
saved your
laying on a
guitar.
concrete slab, just laying there going, what?
And I'm just still up there performing, like, try to keep the audience going. No, that part didn't happen.
It was totally true. So yes, I do recommend people should drink water and not be as stubborn as I am about the ingredients. I guess I can deal with Gatorade much better than water, but
To be honest, this makes us sound really old. I don't think they were selling bottled water back then. That was more of a recent thing.
no, they were definitely selling it. I know they were.
Okay. You just chose not to drink it. Well, whose story was that? Jason's or John's? That was Jason.
I don't know.
That
I
was
think
mine.
we're just completely
That was
out of
mine.
order now.
I guess this
And I
format doesn't
find
matter.
I'm realizing introspectively how messed up I am that I can't think of a good thing, but I can sure think of a lot of bad things.
I'll take you one further.
Come on, bring me.
Not too far down the road from that festival where John nearly died. We're playing in where is that? It's the one where we threw all the crabapple tree things.
Yeah, this
hedge
is
apples.
Hayes City. No,
It's not
It's
far
outside of Dodge
outside
City.
of Dodge City, Kansas.
Anyway, we're playing this festival. For you folks that haven't been to a bluegrass festival, and I'm not talking like a modern Billy String style festival. I'm talking like the Midwest festivals. Most of your audience is 65 plus. Like that's the 90% of your audience retired.
there's a lot of stories for this.
And
Going
going
I
from-
thought you were going to go a different.
Going from
story,
one
but-
festival to a next, and that's just kind of their life now. Is they just visit with each other. And,
Not only that, but they're also in the middle of a cow pasture that is
Yeah.
at least
I
25
was gonna
miles
say,
from
most
any
of the venues-
civilization.
and it's hot
Most
out.
of the venues are dual purpose, and it's generally not dual entertainment purposes. It's generally
Hey, I got a cow pasture. They'll
and
make good
then-
festival
or a
grounds.
chicken coop that we just moved the chickens out of. So,
All right, so
anyway.
we're playing this festival. It's not uncommon for old fellows to fall asleep while watching you, and you'll just look out in the audience and they're just kind of slumped over. This guy was about 2 rows back, and he slumped over forward, and
awkwardly.
he never came back up.
That's so bad.
He died during the middle of our show,
And there is a weird decision you have to make at that moment. And you wouldn't think you'd ever have to make this decision or ask this question, should we continue to play or not? While they bring the ambulance in.
the promoter thought we should. Yes. And an ambulance is coming in, and they're hauling a guy off that has
Expired.
he has passed on. And we're going to continue
Hey,
with the
you
show.
know what?
The better question is, after they tell you that you're supposed to continue on, what are you going to play?
Hey.
I think your only choice is Amazing Grace. I mean, what else are you, what can you play?
In the sweet by and by. Kick it off. No, well, I was just thinking, you know what? Selfishly, I can imagine that there's worse ways to die than listening to me
There,
play some music.
again, God bless him. It's, if that's his love in life, this is not. By the way, it's the first time it happened to us on stage. It is not the first
I
time.
don't think it's the last time
I
either.
remember
No, I think it's
it
happened.
happening at a festival where we were at.
A more funny version of that was in
is it
in
funny,
Texas.
Jay? You don't say more
He didn't
funny.
die. It's funnier because he didn't die. When we were playing that, what was the festival in Texas that always got
Canton.
hit by? No, it wasn't Canton.
Oh,
Rose.
Well, something wood. Anyway,
yes.
we play that festival every year, and there were scorpions and snakes everywhere. That's one part of that. But we were also playing the same festival. The guy in the front row was watching us, and all of a sudden he did a full somersault because he fell asleep, went straight down, landed on his butt right there, and looked up at us like,
I'm okay. I'm good.
"Who pushed me?" No, that was a good one. The festival where the guy died, though, that was a fun festival because it was loaded with rattlesnakes, and the only bathrooms they had were literal old timey outhouses.
He had like
And the
brought
snakes,
them in from
yeah.
old plantations.
And the snakes
whatnot.
loved those outhouses.
Yeah, they did.
That was their
Hey,
protection.
now
so
you know what it was like to
you
grow
had
up
a
in-
you had a risk of either getting bit or pooping your pants, I guess.
Some hard decisions were made.
Sometimes not the right ones. As we're going down these bad moments, I got another one, guys.
Oh, Jay.
So there's a Canadian tour that we used to always do. And we may have told this story on here. I don't remember.
Oh my God, I know where you're
But
going
there's
now.
this Canadian tour where it was set up by Tony DeBoer. Or Tony...
Yes.
Is it DeBoer?
Yeah,
Yeah,
DeBoer.
Tony DeBoer.
And before you get to like the bad part, I think it was this same tour that a major blizzard hit. Because it's a winter tour.
Yeah, it's
a winter tour in Canada.
All through Ontario,
a
sometimes
major,
Quebec.
and every night's a different province or a different town, and they're pretty far away. So we would have to drive.
And you play all the VFW halls all through. It's fun.
It was actually a really fun tour to do,
was
but I
actually
know this
fun.
one, we got snowed so bad, the snow was blowing sideways, and you could only see maybe 1 foot in front of the car, and so it was a rough drive overnight.
Why is it I can only think of bad things? I start thinking more and more.
Anyway, continue on.
So,
one of the venues we did get
We've
to.
done it multiple years.
Yeah.
We did one year. It was all great. So we come back and do the same tour again. We go back to the same venue. And
then
they
we have to
normally put
skip a
on-
year, so this was 2 years
Yeah,
later.
Oh, a couple years. It's put on by the same, like, they normally have local bluegrass communities, clubs that put them together. So we came back to this one venue, and, like, just before we got there, the head of the Bluegrass Club and the lady that introduced us last year, emceed the show, had passed. Had a long battle with cancer, had passed right before then. And they were like,
we're talking a couple days before.
yeah, real close to before we got there. So we get up there, and everybody's kind of sad. And it's like, okay. And they're like, if it's all right with you guys, we're going to go ahead and play a recording that we had from last year when she introduced you guys. We thought it would be a great tribute. And she really loved you guys, and this would be great.
Which is sweet.
Which
You
is
understand
sweet.
why they want to do that. So they had recorded 2 years before when we were there. This woman had introduced us on stage, and it was a great introduction. She really liked the band and was excited to have us there. And I thought this would be a great way to have her do it again. Posthumously.
Now, preface this with, when you're a bluegrass band, the general thing is to come out pretty excited. You want the band, you want the audience to get excited.
Upbeat.
You want to show what
Set the
Any
mood.
band, right?
But
Really,
entertainment.
I mean,
really,
that's
you
any
don't
major
necessarily. Well, some coffee.
You don't
shops
play,
will slow
and
down.
so it is.
Yeah, it's like,
Elvis never kicked off a show with
yeah,
that, you know?
exactly.
Or
That's not
Sinatra.
Elvis, it's Sinatra. I don't know.
They both did it.
Anyway, Bridge Over Troubled Water might have been the opener for Simon and Garfunkel. I don't know.
But anyway, for Bluegrass, you
You
want to come
start
out
hot. You want to get a good upbeat Bluegrass song, right? Because you're a Bluegrass band. Well, when the audience is weeping,
They played the introduction, and that started the waterworks. Like everybody was just breaking
you can
down.
literally hear them start to weep in the audience. The entire audience is wiping tears. And we're like, all right.
And this is our introduction. It's the woman saying, "Make welcome the Chapmans," and then people are just bawling their eyes out. And in that moment, we're like, we can't kick off with a high
Change
beat.
keys. Change keys.
We can't kick this off on a high note and go, all right, guys, you ready to have fun?
Y'all ready to have a good time tonight?
So that was a
It
difficult
didn't
one.
happen. So that was a bad moment.
We did switch it to something a little more somber, I think.
Yeah, we played a gospel tune. Somebody else, get me out of this pit of despair, please.
All right, something happy. Here's something that I thought was actually a wonderful experience. International Bluegrass Music Awards, IBMA, the International
There you
Bluegrass
go. That
Music
was fun.
Association. We'd been working for a long time. We'd signed our label. We've been really just trying to work in the business and do our thing. And they asked us, will you guys be a presenter this year at IBMA? And I was like, you guys, this is cool.
And they do it well. They make it look like a mini Oscars. They have all the different celebrities come out and do the award
We got to
for
read a
each category.
teleprompter. That was awesome.
Yeah, they
Now, this was the second time we had been nominated, because we also got our nominations that year. The first time was as an emerging artist, and then they invited us back. The second year, we got to be a presenter, and we're also nominated. So we got to be a presenter. I believe the person who introduced us, and now for the next award, was Jerry Douglas, if I remember right. And again, we're just sitting there starstruck.
We got to announce.
This is-
Well, I guess we didn't. Wasn't the first year we got to announce? I think you may have your years off, because I think we went the first year and were presenters, and we were nominated, or we weren't nominated, because I remember it was the year Nickel Creek won Emerging Artist of the Year,
okay.
and I think we gave that award out that year.
I don't know. Either way,
That was fun.
we got to do both. It was the presenting was amazing. That was the year I'm thinking about was the year also that Tony Rice was there, and they did an amazing thing with them, and I got to go hang out with him and be backstage with all these amazing people, and we were accepted as part of the overall unit. That was the beginning of recognizing, that the people that we all looked up to, I guess it wasn't the moment, because our entire career was actually full of support from all of our heroes. But this was a moment where we're in an award show, the same award show
dressed up in
that
suits and ties.
we had suits and ties, and everybody looked good. We had dates, and
I think that
you
year
know,
I
the whole
wore a
deal.
leather suit jacket.
Did you wear a leather suit jacket? Good
That
for
was
you,
pretty cool.
Jay.
I got it from the mall.
And then capped off with the win of Emerging Artist of the Year.
And I don't care
and
what,
IBMA.
and maybe I'm off base, but I don't even think if Tom Hanks is in the audience and he's up for that award, that there's not your nerves just really racked when they're listing off all the people and like, I don't know if we're gonna get it. I don't know if we're gonna get it. You know? And it's very disappointing the year that we didn't win it. Like it's like, oh gosh, that would have been so cool. But the year we did win it, it is total elation. Like it was a very big high. We went up there, did our acceptance speeches, tried to be funny. I'm sure missed the mark. But then we go backstage.
Really?
We're carrying our award. We're like all real excited. And Allison's sitting there and goes, hey, guys, did you win something? Like, yeah, we won Emerging Artist. Well, good job. This is a lady that has like 30 Grammys and probably more IBMA awards
you know
than they've
what?
made.
It was
She had to win her first one too.
that's right.
Unfortunately,
She was very
we didn't win a
nice about it.
second one.
But that was also exciting to have Allison Krauss be the first to congratulate us.
Yep, and that was also, if I remember right, Darren was backstage. We goofed around a lot, and it was. That's the one thing I gotta bring out: the community of the bluegrass people, especially in that upper end. There was a true support system that was there, especially for us as young people. Because even at this point, I was like 21, maybe something like that, 22 years old, and these people were pretty darn. Now there's some that were not so supportive.
I'm not laughing because of what you're talking about. It's just my mind keeps. Oh, there's another bad
Dark.
one. There's another bad one. There's another
All
bad
right,
one.
I
all
had to
stems
give
from that-
something positive.
that nervous
there.
breakdown
but,
you had on
but
stage.
yes, IBMA Awards, and we're getting ready to go see some more awards this year. I think it's still an amazing thing, and a well done production every single year.
Chance to really honor people that aren't, getting that same opportunity in the major
I support it
music world.
wholeheartedly.
Yes.
Now for the bad news. I was thinking about another fun, terrible experience. Remember the year we were touring?
No.
We were doing all those club tours. It was toward when we had Simpson booking us. And we did that Fiddler's Green or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's in
Virginia.
No, it's north of Virginia. You actually go over the border in the mountains north of Virginia up into Delaware. It's in the mountain. It's in Delaware.
I'll believe you, but I think
Delaware.
it's Virginia.
I'm going to say Delaware. It's one of those. Rhode Island, Delaware, something like that.
Virginia.
Right inside the. No, it's not. It's right over the. Because I remember we went up to the mountains, right?
Yeah.
And the weather was nice at the bottom, but up at the top,
Snowy.
we did this show. Anyway, we get up there. It gets cold. We do this little. It's like a coffee bar venue.
Small venue.
Nice. It's a cool little.
But a lot of
thing.
big people have played there.
A lot of big people
Very
have played
popular.
there. Well, obviously we weren't big enough to play there because 3 people came out, right? We play a show. Then they go, all right, we have accommodations built for you. It's upstairs in these old rooms that are breezy and have things crawling in them. And
They're bunk beds from
They're
like
bunk beds.
logging or something.
yeah, it was pretty not great, but okay. Most of us handled that okay. John did not.
Not so well.
John said
was-
absolutely not. I think
That's
he
when
slept
John
in the
had a
van.
nervous breakdown.
I did have a nervous breakdown.
Anyway, so we get through that. It's freezing cold. Well, the next morning we have a diesel vehicle, and the next morning, this is the first
We didn't have
experience with
glow plugs.
gelling of our diesel.
Yeah.
Because we did not have winterized diesel at the time because it was warm where we came from.
It was like September.
So we get up in the morning after all this misery, and
It's not even turning.
Nothing.
Just
so we sat there with we warmed the entire motor with glow plugs, which is not recommended. I don't know
Really?
if you guys know that.
we just kept having to
No,
turn the key
you
on and let
burn
it warm
those
up, and then turn it
pretty
back off.
quick if you- For about an hour, we sat there for that thing to warm up to finally leave.
I think we had to get some kerosene though. We got
We
poured
did
some
put
kerosene
kerosene
into
in
the
there.
tank, and
Which is the same thing as winterizing diesel
Yeah.
anyway. But
so
yeah, that was a miserable moment, right? Happy
it was
times.
a bit rough. Yeah. I'm going to go to my part B to winning the International Bluegrass Band Championship. They decided, hey, this is called the International Bluegrass Band Championship. It should be international. We're going to go over to Europe and hold the contest there. So our city was somewhat involved with it as well. And so they said, you guys won this year. We'd like you to represent the United States and be judges over there, but also perform. And so worked out all the logistics with that. It was our first international trip, which coincidentally was also the first time we've ever flown in an airplane.
kids, yes.
Yeah, I think I was 18 or 19 years old. And so our first trip we flew from Springfield, Missouri to Memphis, and from Memphis all the way over to Amsterdam.
Is that true? I thought we went to New York first.
No,
but
Memphis.
It was
And then-
Memphis. Yep. I
and then
remember
flew to
that
Amsterdam.
flight.
But I've got to say, there's nothing quite as eye-opening, and you can watch all the movies you want and do all that. But actually, when you step foot into another country where everybody's speaking a different language,
man, there were so
the
many
signs are all
experiences.
different. Our dad just loves exploring. So
Their
as soon as we got off
toilets
the
are
plane,
weird.
we just went exploring. We
the
did.
rooms were. Remember the beds were like down on the floor.
Yeah, that was weird. Their toilets. Okay, so in Vienna, their toilets are weird,
There's
guys.
a little shelf on them that
They literally
store stuff until it's ready to fly.
Yeah, I don't know why. That's weird.
Anyway.
It's not a pleasant experience.
But when the very first subway we got out of, you walk out of it, and here's a cathedral that was made,
their
600
electrical's
years
weird
ago.
too. By the way, we
You're-
burn up some stuff.
Shut it a minute. Our very first tour, we go to the catacombs. We see
Lots of dead bones.
lots of dead bodies from the Black Plague. But that was probably the coolest experience.
No, there was some really cool stuff. We went.
I understand why they do international exchange.
We went and toured the international music or some music museum that was inside the actual castle, the actual
Was it
palace,
Habsburgs, I believe.
the Habsburg Palace in Vienna.
Musical
And they had
instruments.
musical instruments from like the beginning of time.
We went to Mozart's house and Beethoven's house.
I drank non-alcoholic wine, grape juice.
that was fresh from a vineyard.
From a vineyard
though.
that Beethoven also drank wine from. So
We ate Mozart balls.
we did.
careful.
Mozart.
It's
balls.
a
Chocolate
chocolate of
Yeah.
some
Yeah, it's a
sort over
chocolate.
there.
with like a pistachio center.
But yeah,
We
I
did
think
not eat.
great moment. That was followed by a somewhat scary moment when we did finally come home. The whole tour over there was great. The performing, we stole songs from some of the European bands.
Well,
brought them
before
home.
that, we got home, and it was the first time I had the experience of, because you don't realize that when you're over there for like a week, you start getting used to hearing no English around you. It was always just Dutch, German, whatever happening around you, the multiple languages. Plus, the other thing that was weird when we got over there is their security is serious. They're strapped. And so anyway, we get back to Memphis, and it was like amazing to all of a sudden notice that it's all English again, and it's kind of an odd thing.
And then we got on a flight from Memphis to Springfield, and again, this was our third flight now that we've ever been on.
Now it turns negative.
And
It would be the fourth.
it was a bad storm that was brewing. And the airplane was they were a pretty small airplane. Like it only held
It was
40
a prop
people.
jet.
Yeah.
Sob.
So literally,
A sab.
It was getting a little, and we hadn't been on these before, so I'm like, is this something we should be nervous? You know, and this was a plane full of only people that were chartered for this flight. So it was
our representative.
yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Then it also had John Ashcroft was on it, and I'm judging by everybody else. Everybody's jovial, having a great time. Everybody's laughing. Then all of a sudden, these turbulences hit, and it goes dead silent. Everybody's turning white. The toilet seat slams
somebody
shut.
had left the toilet seat up, and we hit some turbulence, and it slammed as loud as you.
They're going in for the landing, and as we're getting close to the landing, the wing would just duck like that, and then he pulls up and goes back around and comes in again. And he tries it again, and then that wing would duck, and then we go
attempted that like 4 or 5 times.
and I'm like, is this normal? I don't think this is normal. I'm scared. we go to get off, and everybody's thanking the pilot for not letting us die. He's like, well, Mr. Ashcroft really had to get to a meeting, but otherwise we probably would have went to another airport.
Yeah, he was basically saying, I was surprised we landed that one.
Probably shouldn't have attempted that.
So ends up, senators much more important than we are in our lives. His
We
schedule
would have made the news as
is-
other passengers, along with John Ashcroft, have died.
That was fun. It was also good.
So yeah, in the end we survived, which was also a very good,
good.
positive
The best
moment.
part of
And
that is that I want to point out was going overseas, hearing bands from all over Europe. It was a
We met a lot of fun
European world of bluegrass at that time, and there were some amazing acts.
We got in some
from
late night
all
jam
over.
sessions.
And the amount of music that was known by us and people from all over Europe was amazing and fun. The musicianship was great. The camaraderie was
Cool
so
thing
much
is
fun.
having that jam session where they didn't really, most of them didn't speak any English, but they had learned phonetically from the record, so they would sing it the way it sounded on the
part
record.
is they
didn't know what they were saying.
The fun part is you get in a jam session and there's groups from different countries. Like you'll be a mandolin and a guitar player from France and so
Czech
a
Republic.
bass player from Germany, and we're from English speaking America.
That's what you.
But then all of a sudden, like we'd play the song and everybody knew how the song went, and then it would stop, and they'd all start speaking to each other in their own native languages, and then somebody would say the name of the song, and we're like, okay, and then we'd all play it, and then we'd go back to everybody
That was
talking.
awesome.
But we also met some
music.
cool people.
Literally is the international language.
We also met some cool people, which also led us to another cool experience where we actually came over as the Chapmans for EWAB. They built a tour around there, and we got to play in Germany, the Netherlands. We got to
France.
play France, Belgium. Where else? There was one other two stops. No, we didn't play the
Didn't
Czech
check on that
Republic
one.
that
I
time.
think that was it.
But
Actually,
yeah, we got to play a little tour over there, which was an incredible
See
experience.
some castles.
Yeah, drink neat different beers.
What do they call it? Giant
Schnitzel,
schnitzel. We got schnitzel.
blood sausages for breakfast.
You.
That's kind of rough.
Okay, I'm going to go with another somewhat negative story now.
Oh,
Great. Here
I
we go.
remember
just as we were getting out of our funk.
where this festival was. Gosh. So sometimes festivals think we could get them hotels or we could do something really fun and just, I think it was West Virginia, and it was a very artsy thing because we started to play a lot of arts councils, and they thought, we should embed musicians with our local community. So they got people in town to volunteer their houses to put the band up. And
I don't remember this.
I do.
they had one
Shut
house
this
that
one
was only
down.
big enough to hold 4 of us. So I got the short straw and got put in this other house. And they just drive me. And these people didn't even come to the show. They just volunteered almost like a exchange student. We'll host a musician is what they
Sounds
called
like
it.
a good experience.
So they dropped me off in this house, and I'm introducing myself. It's a mom and like 5 kids. And like, would you like anything for dinner? I was like, no, we already ate at the show. And then, well, let me show you to your room. And they just show me this room, and I'm sleeping in these strangers' house. The next day I wake up, and they're like, well, we got breakfast ready if you want to get some breakfast before they come to pick you up. Like, okay, this is weird. I'm not the type that I know the Airbnb was originally, you get hosted by people and you meet friends and
How you doing that?
you interact. I'm not good with strangers.
By the way, you weren't the only one. I went. The only difference was I knew the people that actually.
but you also had
us.
somebody else in the band with you, like you.
Me and
everybody-
Tyler. That's
Everybody
right. It
partnered
was
up
me and
except
Tyler.
me, and I was just at strangers'
Where
houses
did I
alone.
stay? I don't remember this.
I think you and Dad went to another family or something.
I think that show was played at an old renovated movie theater. That's
what it was.
And it was in this small town. And like you said, it was.
When I say I blocked out some stuff,
Going down memory
Yeah.
lane with you has been
well, this is kind of
cathartic.
It was supposed to be like a countdown, and we'd offset it with good things, but
This is
really
what happens
it's
when we
just-
don't prepare.
well,
But
I'm
it's
just
also, once you get down a tangent, it's easy to, that reminds me of another story.
That was kind of the intent. It was fun.
Here's what I want to end it with. We spent over 25 years on the road, almost 30.
And when we talk about on the road, we were like living.
various
Over
different
200
points
dates a
of our time.
year, never home.
We had so
some of
many
the
ups
sleazy
and downs.
hotels.
I know that we talked about this, but
go
here's the
down
thing
that
that was
road.
awesome.
Can I tell
about-
that story before you
What,
finish this?
cockroaches?
Oh, God. Hotel stories, guys.
Oh, we don't have time.
I'm literally, me and Jeremy we're 4 years apart, right?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. It's 4 years apart. So I was probably 10. Jeremy was 14. At this point, we finally talked the parents into getting multiple rooms, right? We get 2 rooms. We split it up that way. We're driving through the night. Dad's favorite thing was to find the little coupon books at the gas station.
It's when you pull in to
stops.
get
the state. Yeah.
Yeah,
Rest stop.
Rest stop. You get coupon books for discounted hotel rooms. So we're in Indiana. We find this hotel. It's 1:00 at night.
In the morning.
1 in the morning. I'm sorry. It's maybe a $15-$20 at the time. I think Dad was getting rooms at about $15-$20 a
28
night,
to 35.
$5 by the hour.
which is pretty low. Even exactly. For them, that back then, that's pretty low, which is an indicator of why we shouldn't have stayed at this hotel. Because me and Jeremy walk in, we start getting ready to lay down, we turn on the TV as you would, and it opens up to the free Playboy channel that they
Really?
offer.
I didn't know about this. This sounds good.
And we were good little boys, so we didn't sit there and watch, as you would think. This did not end the way you would think.
We're not that close of brothers.
Yeah, exactly. Not doing that. Anyway, yeah, that's an experience that I will
I
never
think
forget.
the air conditioner smelled like somebody peed into the air conditioner.
Yeah,
and
generally
then
that's-
Jason pulled his sheet back and it had pee on it.
No, that was a different one.
Okay.
That was Chicago. That was another fun one. Okay, so,
And then
so we're gonna start with
the
hotel
first hotel we
stories.
went into where they did have the quarter that you put into the bed. So
We've literally slept in one of those. The Chicago one was a fun story
I
because
had one where we had a heart-shaped bed.
the Chicago one was a fun story because we were playing those same craft festivals.
Thank God for
We get
Priceline.
in
When
there
it came out-
and it's a nice clean days in. Okay, so it's not great, not bad. We get in there, nice clean days in. Right, everything had been made, bed had been made. So I get ready to go to bed, pull back the sheets because they covered up the pillows back then. Right, everything's nice and tight. Pull it back, and somebody had literally squatted. And we go and talk to the front desk and said, yeah, we had just fired our maid and we were afraid something was going to happen. That's some revenge right there. It didn't have to be directed at me, but it's
didn't even give us a
some
room
good
upgrade or
revenge.
anything.
All right.
Can I get you a new pillow?
We're so overtime, but John's got one more story.
I don't have a story. I want to say, though, here's what was awesome.
Oh, no.
We grew up on the road, and I actually want to say that this is a very cool thing about the business that we were in. My kids have not got to see an eighth of the things that I saw. Our dad and mom were really, when we were on the road, I started, I think, really touring like 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade, something around that time period, where our parents, why do I keep saying our parents would make sure that every trip we had experiences, educational and historical experience. When we went to Illinois, we looked at Land of Lincoln stuff.
Who is buried in Grant's tomb?
I don't know yet, but I've been there, and we've seen things that nobody else has seen. We went to foreign countries. We saw things that nobody else got to see, and our music brought us that. We met people that nobody that changed our lives, that taught us things. We got to be around musicians that we had no business being around. And now to this day, we call those folks up and they still get involved in music, things that we're not out playing. We're just friends now.
Well, the
And that's
experience thing
amazing.
is a big one for me because I'm getting it with my kids now, and my wife kind of gets frustrated with me because I'm tired and old. But I see how hard it would be to get those experiences for your kids. It's almost impossible to get the experience we had without having that growing up. Like you literally would have to not have a job and be on the road all the time, which is what we did.
Yeah.
But the experiences we got to experience I've seen everything. We've been to.
I don't know about everything.
I've been everywhere, man.
We've seen pretty
I've
much
been everywhere.
comparatively.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got in-laws that have left the state twice. So, if I'm being honest, and I've seen
We have been to every single state except for Hawaii.
I've never been to Alaska. Dad
We're
has.
close enough.
Dad, we were in.
We're 30 miles north of
Yeah,
it.
we're exactly right now all across the border. But almost every state in the union, lots of Canada, parts of Europe, been to Mexico, not just for vacation, but also playing music down there. So we've done
That's right.
a lot of things, and it's nearly. I'm starting as I'm getting older. My kids are getting older. I would love to give them those experiences, but it's almost like there's no
way.
chance. So I'm trying to pick the best things, and even that makes me tired.
So my point is, we had a lot, and it's always easy to focus on some of the more negative stories.
Jason
But
especially.
Those are fun, though. Those are fun. I'm not saying I regret it. Some of those big negative experiences, I would do again.
the hotel bed
That's fun.
Olympics. I mean, I could go on.
I would do
and
the
on
hotel
about
beds
dumb
again,
things
even.
that would be there. But
You remember the hotel in Florida that was built so badly that it was like one of those where
it collapsed years
on
later.
each
Jason, I
side.
remember.
No, literally, it was like on each side you had like a hallway you went into the middle, and then the rooms were on each side. But the concrete had started settling, and you could literally lay in bed and feel that lean.
Yeah, I know
like
what you're saying.
both sides were going.
it happened.
That's not safe.
But again, you saw stuff. You got to do things.
I have no regrets.
And what did it do? Here's the better part.
My only regret is you guys.
Yeah, here's the better part. The music store would have never happened without the years that we did this. Everything we knew about this
wouldn't have met
business
my
was
wife
It was
about
all
this
preparing
music.
us for this.
I wouldn't
moment.
have met my wife had we not done music and
Jeremy?
and space. Jeremy's wife also.
I mean,
was a
I
stalker.
that's my one only. Oh no, I'm not going to say that. That's the only problem with it. No, just kidding.
But no, it's great. We could go on with so many stories. 35 years of traveling the road and seeing stuff before we did this, and this has gained us some more adventures and things that we would. I mean, again,
Years
It's a
later,
little
we'll tell
more
stories about
luxurious.
this.
I'm not going to lie. It's not like we're living high on the hog, but it's a lot more luxurious these days.
We've made it, guys. All
You are
right, we've
not
got
in a dingy
we got to
hotel
wrap
room
this
anymore.
up. Hinckley's given us the cut it sign.
Ouch.
We ran out of film. The internet ran out of data centers.
Give us.
Guys, thank you for listening to our reminiscing about the
fans
best
have
of
already
times.
run out of-
It was the best of times. It was the worst of
Do you
times.
remember that?
And we will follow it up with more stories.
Oh, I got more.
And that, my friends, is the rest of
It's
the
partial.
story.
It's
Thank you,
partial.
Paul.
Part of the last
Part of
stories.
The story that is not finished.
See you guys next time.
The Acoustic Shoppe knows people. Handmade by Trent Pruitt, Hinkley Hinkleston, and Jason Chapman for The Acoustic Shoppe.
Theme song written and performed by Ofer Koren.
And please remember to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.